Part 1 of the film described the daily life of the boys at the Vumani children's shelter. Boys used to live on the street begging. Vumani provides them with food, shelter and schooling. In Part 2, we will suggest how you could participate in the lives of these boys. Majority of the Vumani boys go to school now. However, some boys have dropped from school due to various reasons. Some have suffered in their childhood too much. Some are doers rather than readers. Some may have disabilities. What will be their future? They will not be able to go for formal vocational training. Hands-on work, such as small-size gardening, growing rabbits and chicken, and selling the products in the streets, may be one option for them to generate income. Vumani is happy that the Finnish embassy has recently decided to help these boys to get started. It will finance the first round of the on-the-job training and the first seeds, animals and tools. The village of Raudanoja, in the very north of the globe, in the Finnish Lapland, has decided to organize support to the Vumani boys to fix the solar panel to get cheap warm water. Also, an ablution block will be built for the boys to wash themselves. Vumani has done great work in getting the boys out from the street and giving them food, shelter and schooling. But the boys are growing and need to move from Vumani when they are 18 to 20 years old. That is a critical step. As many boys started at school very late, they are still at secondary school. They need a shelter, food and soap, uniforms and school fees. A godparent could provide them with monthly financial support. But most importantly, a godparent could be an adult friend to a young man. These are some of the boys who have lived at Vumani and now live on their own. They still go to secondary school.
Our boys now, he lives with a sister and two brothers. He's in grade 11 at the Wing High School. He's doing very well at school. And then this is one of our boys. He used to live at Vumani, a bridge center. He is now living on his own outside the center. So we also helping him through Manyaten Charity Fund. We also buy stationery for him. We buy school clothes. We buy stationery for him. So he's also doing very well. When he get a chance during the weekend, he tries to find piece job to also help himself to buy the education stuff.
The story here is that all of them have been at Vumani at some stage.
The Dipelo family of orphans have all been at Vumani. Lerato, the 17-year-old sister, took care of her mother dying on AIDS. She and the 11-year-old Kotso go to school. They have Finnish godparents who write to them and finance them a monthly sauce package. The 20-year-old brother Tabang lives in the other shack and also goes to school. And 3 are already working. Tamai is 18 years old and it is time to leave the Vumani children's shelter. He still goes to the school. Vumani boys are helping him to build a home. Tamai wishes to get his own godparent to write letters and to provide him the monthly sauce package of food, clothes and other essentials.
So the sisters were liking to fight. Then there was not enough food in there. Then I went to live in town. I met some friends.
On the streets?
Yes. Then I meet them. Then I went to live in town. Yes, and there was no sisters who want me to come back to home, to go to school. Yes.
Alex Rantako has lived at Vumani since he was 11 years old. He finished 4 years of school. He is a kind person and helps the younger ones. Alex's dream is to become a plumber. Would you be his godparent to write with him and to support his plumbing training course? Year by year, there are more of these boys who need support to get vocational training so that they would not end up returning back on the street.
I'm Dorothy Hall. I was born in England but grew up in Johannesburg. And in 1957 my husband and I went to teach in Lesotho. So we have been associated with Basotho youth for many, many years. 51 years we've been in this area. When I arrived in Ladybrand in 1997, I was asked to visit a small group of boys who were being given lunch in a new centre that had just been built up in the township that is adjacent to Ladybrand called Manyatseng. I found there a group of about 18 ragged boys who were begging on the streets between the ages of 16 and 21. They were receiving lunch once a week and an opportunity to have their clothes laundered. This challenged me because I had been teaching all my life.
Dorothy Hall has been the volunteer manager and the soul for Vumani for 10 years. Because of her determination and hard work, many boys have now a better life. Her days are filled with finding money, taking sauce packages to the boys, resolving all kinds of problems, doing administration and many more with the help of Edwin.
Well, I'm involved with day-to-day running of the center with Dorothy Hall, who is the project manager, the volunteer project manager. Yes, I've been in training to take over from her when she retires.
Edwin's university distance learning is starting and will take 2 years. Having him trained to take over from Dorothy as the manager is the key challenge for Vumani to continue. Vumani Children's Shelter is registered. It gets support from the state for some of its functions. It has a board that makes the major decisions. Among the members there is a teacher and a police officer from the black people area. The treasurer of Vumani is Ria Rosette.
We must give feedback every month to the government by showing them all the money we've got from the government, from charity, and all our expenses, and that balance. And they want to see on what did we spend that money for the month.
So the government checks?
The government checks us up,
welfare department checks.
And they come and check our slips and the system we are handling, how we are handling it, and that it's fair and right.
Also, independent auditors check the Vumani accounts. In addition, the Finnish NGO examines the Finnish support.
There's a lot of poverty in the township. People are unemployed. There are a lot of orphans in the township. Perhaps 60% of the children who are on my register have lost both parents. They have been staying with grandmothers who do not cope, and so they need the stable environment and the stable family set up that we offer them there at the Vumani Outreach Centre. There is always a need for somewhere like the Vumani Outreach Centre.